6:30, and I would like to call the Board of Selectmen meeting to order. All right, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Last meeting's minutes, do I have a motion?
Moved as submitted.
Any discussion?
Second?
Discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, community relations and announcements. Charlton Public Library will host organizing and decluttering workshop on Thursday, January 18th at 6 p.m. Registration online is requested. A professional home organizer, Danielle Nichols, will show attendees approachable ways to declutter and organize personal space. Presentations will be followed by a Q&A session. Dog licenses are now available. Please see the town clerk's page or call the office. There is a special state primary for the 6th Worcester District seat to replace Peter Durant on Tuesday, February 6, 2024, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Heritage School. Please note, this is an election only for precincts 1, 2, 3, and 4A. Precinct 4 voters are not eligible to vote since they are in a different district and have Paul Frost as their state rep. Per Mass General Law, there are no early voting hours for this election. Mail-in ballot applications are available on the town's clerk's page. Applications must be submitted to the town clerk by January 30th for the ballot to be mailed. The last day to register to vote for this election is Saturday, January 27th, 9 to 5, Charlton Police Department, or online. Please see the town clerk's page. Town Hall will be closed on January 15th in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Real estate and property bills are due February 1st, 2024, and May 1st, 2024. All right, do we have anybody here for open forum?
Yeah, same thing.
Jim Nee, 34 Center Depot Road here in Charlton. I just wanted to make a public comment on the issue of trash and refuse and all that good stuff. I know that the town is working very diligently on looking for multiple options, hoping that the town will continue to explore all options, both the ones that are currently being contemplated and possibly more, and doing some obviously very dangerous cursory research on the internet, which is always riddled with nothing but truth. It appears as though all of our surrounding communities, everyone that's adjacent to us, has something at the municipal level. With the exception actually, I couldn't find something from Oxford, which is funny given the old transfer station there, the irony of that. But the rest of them all appear to have a recycling center with bag drop-off option in town, varying price points, get an annual pass, small fee for the bags, no annual pass, larger fee for the bags. The thing that was currently posted regarding Webster and dropping off items there, the price point was quite a bit larger than pretty much every other surrounding community. So I saw on the agenda that there's something about Spencer tonight, so I hope that was a slightly more attractive price point up there, so hopefully that's being explored. But I think the community should consider exploring even further options, whether that is a municipal curbside pickup. That's obviously the furthest option down the road. That's the biggest thing you can do, all the way through trash and recycling center. I don't know the full history of the landfill here. Obviously that got closed. I don't know what the Board of Health and Mass DEP requires of us and what we're even allowed to do, but I hope that we'll be exploring that further, because the option of private provider only and then maybe some municipal agreement that may continue or may not with a surrounding community, I don't think that's stable enough for our community. When you look at our surrounding communities, we have the highest household income by a wide margin of all the surrounding communities. We have some of the highest property values. We have a kind of middle-of-the-road population size. So given our size, given our average household income in the community, I just think it's reasonable to say that we would have a in-town municipal option to deal with this. So I hope the Board of Selectmen will continue to consider that. Obviously, in the short term, we're looking for short-term options, but I hope that long-term, we have something kind of more robust, whatever that might be.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.
Always nice to see you, by the way, Jerry.
Yes.
Is anybody else here for open forum? All right. Appointments.
All right, the first appointment is for an administrative assistant for the Land Use Division. After extensive search to fill the administrative assistant for land use, Human Resource and Conservation are recommending the appointment of Dalen Fisher to this position. The board was asked to make a signatory appointment so that she could start on January 8th, 2024. And you're being asked to confirm the appointment tonight. This is a 38-hour per week benefited position, an hourly rate of $23.03, and falls under the personnel policies, so.
And Ms. Fisher is here, which we're always
Yep.
excited to see.
Yep.
Welcome.
So,
Extensive is correct.
Yes.
I will make a formal motion to appoint and welcome Dalen.
I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That was easy.
All right.
Thanks for coming in.
Congratulations, thank you. Again, drive safe, thanks.
We'll swing by soon. If you keep Starburst on your desk, we're usually happier.
I'll keep that in mind.
Just run out there.
All right, and the next appointments is for election workers. The town clerk's office is asking the board to appoint the following as election workers until December 31st, 2024. I'll spare the reading of all the names, but they are listed in your packet.
If it pleases the board, I will make a motion to appoint all of them with a big thank you.
Second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
All in favor, yeah, I'm in favor of that, yes.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Pete.
All right. I don't see any scheduled appointments. Moving on to new business.
All right, first is for the adoption of the Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan. We are in the process of updating and adopting the town's Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan, which will be filed with MEMA. Adoption of the SEMP requires acknowledgement of department roles and responsibility within the plan, which all departments have reviewed and have signed off. The board is being asked to approve the adoption of the Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan this evening.
So moved, and thank you, Andrew, for doing it.
Second on
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chairman Linsett killing it tonight. Just saying.
All right, next for the is to open the annual town meeting warrant and approve the budget calendar. The board is scheduled to open the annual town meeting warrant tonight and approve the attached FY 2025 budget calendar. All departments have been notified to submit an article to my office prior to March 1st, 2024. The board will be asked to close the warrant at your March 12th, 2024 meeting, and also attaches a list of meetings to prepare you for the upcoming budget season.
Motion to open the warrant and also approve the calendar. Please, let's make sure we don't submit anything after March 12th.
No, second on that, no, second on that, but my pause was a little more about, what we're gonna do with the schools and that type of thing.
Looks like our meeting with them
That's-
is Wednesday, February 12th.
Yeah, so we did have,
14th,
the week of the 12th.
Oh, I'm sorry, the 14th. You're right, you're correct.
it's the
Yeah,
14th,
the week of the
Valentine's
12th,
Day,
the 14th.
that's, yeah.
We did have a budget meeting this morning with the schools to discuss their overall budget projections, essentially. Right now, they are projecting at a $2 million overall budget increase. We know that we can't exactly project, we can have a rough projection on assessments at this point, but until the governor releases their budget, it's kind of speculative. So.
Maybe. I mean, until the budget, until the governor releases her budget and then amends it, increases it, or decreases.
Well, we just won't be able to provide a
This will go on
assessment.
Until, yeah, no, I know. This could go on until May.
Any further discussion on opening the warrant?
No, good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
All right. Next is a discussion on increasing the real estate exemption under Chapter 59, Section 5C and a half. So at a previous meeting of the board had requested information on expanding local exemption benefits for veterans. Attaches information provided by the Director of Assessing for the board to consider in the potential adoption of Mass General Law, Chapter 59, Section 5C and a half. Originally adopted by the Mass Legislature in 2018, this is a local option that provides for an additional real estate exemption for certain blind persons, veterans, surviving spouses, and seniors, an increase to their tax exemption up to twice the state allowed limit. This match is solely funded by the town through its overlay and is not reimbursed by the state. The attached information in the packet also provides a projected fiscal impact of adopting this section of law. Adoption of this section requires a town meeting vote, and if supported by the Board of Selectmen, could be included on the annual town meeting. But note that there is pending legislation right now for the HEROES Act, where if adopted, the town could apply just the exemption of veterans and surviving spouses and not the other exemptions. So I have Kathy from our Director of Assessing in tonight to answer any questions that you guys might have related to the exemptions.
Pete, through you. Again, thanks for coming in. So just for everybody at home, this is basically taking what we have now and simply, same criteria, same everything, but basically saying the state allows by town meeting vote to double the exemption, and nothing else changes except for the fact that we can double the exemption and help out those who may need an additional helping hand.
That's correct, and you don't have to double it, you can go up 50%, you can, go up any percentage up to 100, so, it would, I have, if you want me to read the figures off, there's not that many of them, I can, for those at home, it's up to you, but,
So for those at home, Kathy, correct me on the numbers, make sure I'm reading it right. If in fact, we'd said 100%, or double, if you will.
Yes.
Town meeting approved it. To extrapolate out what we had like last year, we'd be looking at what, was it $115,000?
yes, the amounts needed in the overlay after reimbursement,
Yep.
so you would have to have more than that in the overlay at 176 if everything was doubled, but you would be reimbursed by the state about 60, so it would end up being net about 115, which actually is 83,000 more than we currently do. So I don't know if that made sense, but that's how it is, so.
I'm a huge fan of this. I'd love to be able to put it in front of town meeting. I know some people had, for lack of a better word, concerns that we'd be giving money people don't necessarily, giving abatements to people who don't necessarily need it, but the income criteria still exist. Everything's there.
The income is really low,
It is
too.
low.
I mean,
I'd love to see it higher, but I know that's out of our control.
Yeah, we do have to do some cleanup work that will be on the town meeting warrant to kind of, because we do offer it at the higher amount, so it's essentially for the 41C. Now, 41C is for seniors over 70. We only have 15 people that qualify, because
Is there only how many?
15, because I tell people, most people are in their mid-80s by the time they can qualify, because if you're single, you have to make under $20,000. If you're married, it's $30,000. Now, there is a Social Security amount, so I think if you're married, then it's like $38,740, I believe, is the number for this year that you have to make below. And then you can also not have assets above a certain amount. So like my father's 84, he'll qualify next year when he's 85, but he's not gonna qualify yet. Because it takes a lot to qualify. So we don't have a lot of people, so you could wait for the HEROES Act, but you're only talking about an extra 25 people that is less than 20,000 if we capture those ones that are low income. If they need it, they really need it. They're at that point where they've exhausted their savings, they've gotten older, and they're just only living on Social Security.
Absolutely.
So they're at that point where maybe they do need it. So you can wait, but I don't know that you need to.
Yeah, to the board, I'd rather we just do all of this now, put it in front of us in May, allow us to campaign or,
Yeah.
talk to people about it a little bit more. I
But
think
it-
that
but is-
the more we can do, the better.
But as far as the 61% number that the state was gonna reimburse us, that's a firm number, or is
So
that
the
still-
61, so it's 61,000 that we get reimbursed right now. So for the final numbers that we have, which is FY '23, because FY '24 they have up until April 1st that they can still come in. If someone at home thinks they qualify, please come in and see us, because you still can get this for FY '24. So we don't have those final numbers, but for the FY '23 numbers, we had budgeted 93,000 out of the overlay, but the state does reimburse 61,485 is the number that they reimburse. If we choose to increase, that 61,000 stays, that's not going to change. So the rest of it would be covered out of the overlay, that's all, yeah.
It's all reasonable to me. Yeah, I agree.
Again, thank you for all the data.
Yeah.
Anytime that I can look at corn stuff, I get excited. So make a motion, I'm not sure exactly how we want to say this, to accept the proposal and put it on the town meeting warrant for approval.
Okay, so one question is, do you want it at 50% or the full 100%?
Oh, I'm sorry, for, my motion is gonna be for the full 100%,
So doubling it.
doubling, correct.
Okay.
I think that the more, to the rest of the board, I think the more we can do to help those who, again, especially with the limits, even though they're so low, I think the more we can do to help people, I think the better off we are. So yes, but yes, thank you, Andrew, yeah,
I will,
definitely.
I agree, and I second that.
All right, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Excellent.
thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
Well done as always.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Moving right along to old business.
Right.
Jim, it's up to you. Watch, we'll see.
All right, so this is update to transfer, or for the transfer station IMA with the town of Spencer. So with the closure of the Casella Transfer Station in Oxford to residential trash collection, we've been working with some of our neighboring communities to try to identify alternatives for residents who regularly utilize that facility. As previously identified, the Webster Transfer Station remains an option for those who still wish to utilize a transfer station, which is at no cost to the municipality. We've had discussions with the town of Spencer to allow Charlton residents to use their transfer facility at 17 South Spencer Road and have proposed the attached agreement for your consideration. The proposed agreement would be from January 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2026. So once adopted, it would essentially be immediately, people would be able to utilize the facility. The town of Charlton's annual contribution to the town of Spencer under the agreement will be $50 for each annual sticker and $10 for each day pass issued to Charlton residents. This amount would be prorated to $25 and $10 respectively for the first half of 2024. Charlton residents utilizing the transfer facility would still be required to purchase an annual sticker or day pass in their town trash bags at the same rate as Spencer residents. And the annual passes would be prorated at $30 for the remainder of 2024.
Can you stop there?
Yes.
Because I'm trying to figure that math out, and I'm just,
Yeah.
something's not jive with me, because if
Okay.
we're prorating, you know, you explain it now.
Okay.
And I'm gonna listen.
The date, so I think the one missing part I have in here is that an annual pass is $60.
Oh, I thought it was 50.
$50 is it would be our budgetary contribution.
All right, which we can talk through. Okay,
Right.
so the annual pass for us in general will be $60.
Correct.
So it'd be 25 for the first 6 months, 30 for the second, because we wouldn't be starting technically on January 1st.
$25 would be, essentially, we'd get an invoice at the end of the fiscal year
Yeah.
of saying, these are the number
The
of.
fiscal year for the 6 months, not the
Right,
calendar.
exactly.
Gotcha, okay.
Exactly.
Thank
And
you.
then the next year would be $50 for each person who
Yeah.
got an annual pass.
All right, so far I'm with you.
Yeah, okay.
But how does that money get transferred? So we come up with, we have 200 people that are looking to do it, and they come up with a number, and then we send Spencer a check?
So essentially is that they would go to the Spencer facility, they'd get a pass, be identified as a Charlton resident, go into their log at the end of the fiscal year. They'd send an invoice with the log of every person who purchased a one-day pass or a season pass with an invoice attached of essentially, here's, for the first 6 months, $30 per person for the half-year pass, $10 for the day pass. And we would look to fund that from the general operating budget.
Now, let me ask, Steve, go first, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, but then how do we, did we bill those people separately?
No, we're
Those-
saying that
those
we, so,
30 people or 60 people.
so they have to, essentially, they're getting funding from two different sources here. They're getting funding, Spencer's getting funding from the pass that is being purchased by the resident, and then the town is being charged a fee for essentially the privilege of using the facility, or allowing residents the privilege of using the facility. Because currently, the town of Spencer is not covering their costs to run the facility. So they're looking for the town of Charlton to similarly assist in
What would the
Fundings.
all-in be if we passed it all on to the residents? So if Bill Borowski says, you know what, I would really like to get this annual pass, forget prorating for a second, but basically be able to say, how much would it cost me just for the pass for a full year if the town didn't eat any of it? And it was just, hey, Bill, cut a check for X dollars to the town of Spencer for the privilege of using.
Without any bags or?
Yeah, bags aside, this is just simply straight
Not
annual
bags
fee,
aside,
Using-
bags included.
Right, using this formula would be $90.
$90. Plus
I'm
paying.
sorry, let me get back.
No, no.
110,
All right,
numbers back.
all right, so we're basically looking at around 110, I would still have to buy bags.
Yes,
Right.
Oh, plus you'd
Yeah.
have to, but that's why I was asking.
Right.
So.
$5 a bag.
Yep.
yeah. It's not $5 a bag. So Webster is $5 a bag for a 30-gallon bag. For a 30-gallon bag in Spencer, it's $2.50. 13-gallon bag for Webster is $4. 13-gallon bag for Spencer is $1.25. So on the next page, I costed it out a little bit of saying that if you threw away one 30-gallon bag per week, just say on average, that if you were to utilize the Webster facility, no cost to the municipality, the cost for the average resident would be $260. For utilizing the Spencer facility, it'd be $190 for the resident. Where if you had 200, we can estimate 200 people, because that was the number that we had for people that were using the Casella facility at no cost. The annual town fee would be approximately $10,000. Now, by entering into an IMA with another town, we would be entitled to the RDP grant through Mass DEP. That's a $2,000 grant that would come back to the town. One of the services that's provided through the Spencer program is that they accept yard waste. So right now, we're spending about $1,500 a year in overtime costs to run our own yard waste drop-off. So people could get a day pass and bring their leaves to, their leaves to Spencer, and that essentially is just money shifted within the budget. So that brings that annual municipal cost down to about $6,500. Now, one service they also provide is access to household hazardous waste disposal. I had a conversation with with the Board of Health Director, Jim Philbrook, today, and he had a conversation with some of his fellow members over in Southbridge, who are in the same kind of spot that we are. They've been quoted for a one day household hazardous waste day at $21,000.
That's pretty excessive.
And
Southbridge
looking,
was.
right, and looking to see if we
Spencer would include this in that?
is part of that services that they provide is disposal of household hazardous waste.
So what's in the budget for the hazardous waste program now?
So that was always something that was covered under the Casella agreement.
Yeah, yeah. It's all new.
Yeah, so that would be a new charge.
So, Pete, through you, once you're done. You good? Cool. So, first of all, great work on this, seriously, this is really, really good. My only concern, and I think I can get over this very quickly, is this would be taking $6,500 out of the budget to basically subsidize those who want to use that. However, even those like myself who have a private hauler can take advantage of this for household hazardous day with yard waste, et cetera. So even though I don't like the idea of subsidizing it, it's such small money at potentially $6,500 at 200 people. And knowing, I believe we have a 60-day cancel if we ever really wanted to.
Right, if this really blew up or it didn't
Yeah.
go to, or we could still say, this isn't working, we're gonna
Yeah.
go a different direction.
I mean, $6,500 is not that much money to enter an agreement that I think will, and I think we just used that example there, around 21,000 for Southbridge household hazardous waste day, that it be included here. If you buy a day pass and everything else that goes along with it. There's a philosophical objection I have to it, but my practical hat says this is okay.
So I think we have to look at the 200 that are been using the Casella, plus add the hazardous waste people and all the vouchers that
Yeah.
Board of Health have given
Which
out
is
over
me.
the years.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they assign a nominal value to those, I think it was
Like
$30.
$25, $35 something like that.
$30, so, I mean, if you add those up,
Yeah.
you're covering more of the population than just 200, so it's,
Yeah. So personally, again, I really want to commend Andrew and the team on this. I'm okay for at least a year. I mean, I'm fine with like the 3-year agreement. Honestly, after a year, I'd like to see some numbers and reassess. But for $6,500 tax money,
Yeah.
to allow the opportunity for all residents to at least have this option to, even if it's $10. I mean, when was the last time people tried to throw away a sofa? I mean, that's expensive type of thing. You get like a day pass for $10 here, and you can throw away a mattress or a medium metal, small metal, a fridge for 20. I mean, there are these options here that we would not have available to us if we didn't do this. So at least for discussion, I'm gonna make a motion to, I'm not sure the best word, to approve the transfer station IMA with the town of Spencer, at least for discussion, as presented, plus I know we had to add something on your email.
Oh,
Oh, did
we
you put it in?
updated the IMA,
did you?
it should be in here, it was just one line.
Yeah, that was nothing.
It was really just to clarify that the
Yeah.
residents would be,
Yeah.
So,
responsible.
so that everybody understands this at home, that if you're doing total hauler,
yes, if you have
personal hauler,
curbside.
you're
collect-
not paying, as a taxpayer, you're not paying anything more than the 200 people.
Well, you are though.
Well,
Yeah, no, I know, that's the point.
essentially, this is flexible that depending on how many people do end up utilizing it or utilizing that service, we'll at least get a prorated number in the first 6 months to identify how well it's being utilized or what the projected impacted cost is and see, well, either we're totally off base with our projection and we could go a different route, or, hey, we were right on and it's working well and we had our anticipated and monitor the program or look to see if there's any other in-town options we want to consider.
And that brings Bill's message up to, you'd rather do 1 year than 3.
I mean,
You wanna see and know.
Yeah, I'm fine like signing the 3-year, but just knowing that we have a 60-day out, that we can look at it in a year and see how we're doing. I think for the amount of budget items we have on our light items at town meeting, $6,500 is relatively short money for what I think is actually a very positive investment.
Yeah, and I'd like to raise another point. While this is a rough direct cost of 6,500, what could we hypothesize the indirect cost if we didn't offer this and they
Absolutely.
were dumped on
Yep.
the side of the road and we had to send the
100%.
town to pick it up?
Yep.
So,
Three times that money.
well,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah,
what I'm saying,
okay.
you know, if we're looking for ways to justify it,
Absolutely.
one way or another, the town's most likely gonna get hit with a cost for, some sort of trash removal.
Oh, yeah, DPW, just a number of hours having to get rid of this stuff. Do we need a town meeting vote for this, or is it just us?
No, we can just adopt it.
All right. So my motion stands at least for discussion.
Second.
Any other discussion?
I think we're good.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, guys.
Jim, you got trash stuff now.
So as I said,
Better than the Webster option, I think.
I'll sign the agreement, get to Spencer, and hopefully by let's see, tomorrow's, I think, the next day, so.
Well, the Oxford option was free. Yeah. Well, not free, it was,
Seriously, Andy, nice job on this. I know that,
Yeah,
like,
good
I know
job,
you've been
yeah.
working on this for a while, but seriously,
that
well
wasn't
done.
fun, yeah, I bet.
Next up, we
Deb,
have.
oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Deb.
I'm Deb Markey, I'm chairman of the Keep Charlton Beautiful Committee, which used to be the Charlton Recycling Committee. And we thank Andrew for spearheading all this, and you all for doing something that you know our committee has wanted you to do since we knew the Oxford facility was closing. So this sounds very win-win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay,
it's at least
Do you wanna
reasonable.
come up and speak?
I did.
Thanks, Deb.
No, I'm good, I'm good.
No, you're good, all right.
Yeah, but I would like to speak to this gentleman later because it sounds like you have an interest in this and we'd love to, know about our committee.
Oh, he gets feisty, watch out. Deb.
Feisty is such a nice word for it.
See, it's because I like you, Jim.
All right, moving along with old business.
All right, so next is a quick discussion on regional dispatch. So Chief Dowd has been in communications with Town of Spencer, Leicester, and Sturbridge, who are actively pursuing the feasibility of a regional dispatch center. The board is being asked to consider supporting an attestation letter to State 911, potentially joining a feasibility study for a potential project. The feasibility study will be fully funded through State 911 and doesn't commit the town to a final project. This would be the first phase in determining if this is an opportunity that may work for the town of Charlton with some of our regional partners. Chief Dowd is here, able to address any questions the board might be able to address, or might have on this program.
Thanks, Andrew. Pete, through you. I'm just gonna say, this comes up every few years for cost savings. I think conceptually, it's normally a good idea. I think Chief Dowd would attest that our dispatchers do a lot more than just dispatching. You know, they're literally there to check on people in the cells. They're there to help monitor that hall, et cetera. So I don't think it's a problem in entering or putting the letter in, because there's no obligation to it. But literally, I've seen this in tons of different communities. I've never seen an option where it would work for us. I could be pleasantly surprised this time around. So I don't have an objection to at least saying, let's take a look at it because it's free potentially. But outside of that, you know, I mean, Chief, Pete, through you, Chief, I don't know if you have any feelings for it either way. It's just, I'm not usually a huge fan of these things, but I don't know how you feel.
Obviously, everybody wants to be by themselves, standalone,
Yeah.
ideally, but there's a cost to that.
Exactly.
There's also finding personnel. I think Andrew sent me something from Mass Live this morning. You just, you know, everybody's got the same problem, finding dispatches. It's like a house of cards. As soon as somebody gets injured, we're not at two dispatches 24/7 yet. So, I'm a strong believer that if we go to a substation, there's gonna be costs. Now, typically, regional dispatch is never about saving money. It's only about better supplying resources and efficiency.
So it's
When you
not
have a
about- it's not about
disaster, or when you
saving
have, it's not savings, they'll all tell you at the end of the day, it's a
Okay,
push.
yeah.
You're not gonna save $1 million, so don't be looking at it as a saver option. It's more of a efficiency option. Can
so-
you get more people in, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not from the cost perspective, but say you had a mass incident and they called the regional dispatch, well, would that shave time and get the resources potentially?
So like right now, if there was a fire,
Right.
there's a certain number of alarms, the fire department is good and they'll cover some of the costs of me bringing somebody in, but they're not there instantly. It's not like Star Trek technology where they just beam in, so it takes them a half an hour, 40 minutes to get there. You wouldn't have that problem with regionalization if you had 2 or 3 people going at the same time. Whatever we do, we have to start thinking about what operations are gonna look like in the future. And eventually, I think we need to be at doubled up, 24/7. Whether that makes sense to go with regionalization, or if you get in early and you can be part of the planning, and maybe it's closer to Charlton than other areas, I don't know. I think it's wise to at least test the waters and see if it's a good fit. It may not be. But you at least can look at it and say, you know what, this makes a lot more sense than what we're doing, or this doesn't make any sense, and we shouldn't do it. But I think the wise thing would be to at least take a look, as long as the state's moving in that direction. At some point, you may not have the option, because the state is trying to get rid of what's called a PSAP, that's the 911 system. They're very expensive. I'm hearing everything from $800,000 to $1 million. They don't want 351 towns having PSAPs. They want to regionalize. We're sort of barbaric compared to the rest of the country. If you went to, a Texas, or you went to a California or a Florida, you wouldn't have each police department working with their own. They'd be regionalized.
Oh,
So that's the trend, that they're not making us do this immediately, but we may miss the boat.
And
So-
an evolution could be a regional holding cell too,
It started, the sheriff's department's taking prisoners, so they're doing some stuff that's helping.
See, I'm old school, and I'm usually not a fan of this, but I think, to the
Yeah.
chief's
The-
point, it's potentially free.
Right.
And I'd rather us take a look at it than not. I mean, data never hurts. you know?
all we're doing is looking at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
We're not making a decision.
The feasibility
But
says it
I- I
costs
rem-
money.
I was gonna say.
I remember last year, 2 years ago, in Leicester, someone drove through the front door of the Leicester Police Station, and it was a 911 call that came through a regional dispatch from Worcester that sent someone to Leicester.
Yes.
They didn't even know.
Right, because they subbed out their dispatch, so they work out of Worcester. So there wasn't somebody in the area there wasn't an officer in the building.
Yeah.
It would be luck if there were, because it's not 24/7 man now, because They don't have dispatches there. We'd have to work out a lot of logistics if we decide to go
Yeah.
that path, but I think it makes sense if the $75,000, you can at least see what they're offering, and maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't.
Wait, how much is it gonna cost us? I thought it was free.
No, it's the grant.
The grant.
Oh, the grant, I'm
is
sorry.
For 70, like, the state is
Dan, you're
authorizing
freaking me out.
this money
All right.
to
That-
encourage
yes, that's
people to
better.
at least look at it. So I would suggest
Yeah.
taking advantage of it.
That's a suggestion.
Motion to
yeah.
support the attestation letter.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, all in favor? Oh, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye. Thanks, chief.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, moving along, on to policy review.
All right, so attach our policies for the board to review with recommended changes. Municipal meeting room facility use, naming of town property, nepotism, remote participation policy, open meeting law, and the snow plowing of town buildings. How timely. The municipal meeting room facility use, we're looking to essentially strike that one. Apparently, at some point, we had charged a fee for the use of this, for this room, and I don't know why we don't have any takers anymore.
Scheduling just goes through Mary like as always.
Exactly.
Fine.
Yeah, so looking to just strike that one. The only other changes were grammatical.
Yep. Motion to accept all 5 recommendations as submitted.
Second?
Second,
Second?
second.
All right, any discussion?
Nada.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm used to you seconding it.
I know.
Yeah.
Change it
Thanks,
up
Mary.
today. Thank you. All right, moving right along to the student select person report.
Dazzle us, man.
All right, so there's not much going on because of midterms this week. But in the athletics field, the boys' varsity basketball team, once again, has their next home game tonight at 7 p.m., so happening right now, starting right now. They're coming off a well-deserved win on Saturday against Millbury, and I believe they won by 2 points in overtime. If you want to tune in to watch it on live stream, which I asked my gym teacher today, who is the head coach, he said that you can view the live stream on NFHS Network website. Another team that has been doing really well at Shepherd Hill is the varsity wrestling team. And I believe this past weekend, 2 of the members earned both first and second place in their respective categories. The next home, I guess, game is Wednesday, January 17th, if you would like to come and support the wrestling team. For the arts, this is a big one. On Saturday, February 3rd, the music department is holding the annual Central Massachusetts Show Choir Festival. There's going to be more than about 20 different show choirs competing to win for their given size categories. If you are interested in supporting Shepherd Hill's mixed group Fantasy, the girls group Illusion, or CMS's Mirage, which is the middle school's show choir, you can buy tickets at shepherdhillchorus.com or shepherdhillchorus.ticketleap.com. And then for school-wide, again, the main thing is midterms. They're starting on Thursday with periods 1 and 2, and they're going to continue the week after Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Thank you, Maddie, and good luck on your midterms.
Thank you.
I don't miss those days.
I just have one thing to add. There's been increased support, which is great for the Shepherd Hill Athletics, and there was an email sent out by Mr. Scanlon, the athletic director, earlier this week, that asking people to maintain their decorum and be appropriate, and just remember, these are high school kids playing a high school sport, and these are referees that have other day jobs that are human too, and they potentially will miss a call, just like in the professional. So just a reminder, just to get the word out, because not everybody's on his distribution list, that if you attend the game, it's great, they appreciate the support, but please try to control yourselves.
Thanks, man.
Wise words to many.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, TA report.
All right, so following up with the Route 20 safety improvements, so following up on our conversation on December 6th with Mass DOT, we scheduled a follow-up discussion with their project team on January 24th to address some of the public safety concerns relative to the project and review some revised plans that they plan to provide. Once I get a copy of those plans, I'll provide them to the board and to the public as appropriate. And I continue to push for them to have a public information session before they do any sort of changes.
Thank you, Fred.
Fire station building update. So on January 3rd, the building committee met with the project team to update on the project and kick off with their selected owner's project manager, CHA Consulting. Context Architecture is preparing to conduct the geotechnical survey of the site this month, and just had a email from them today that we'll be sending out some letters to the 4 abutters around the property. So if any of the abutters of this are online or watching this live stream, please be on the lookout for a letter in the mail or a contact from our office. So the committee has been working with the abutting property owners on revising some of the building layout to address concerns with the proximity to the property lines and site screening. Context will be providing some revised layout proposals following that geotechnical survey. Currently, we're on track to complete the schematic design phase in March to have project estimates to be considered for the spring project authorization votes. We'll be able to provide a fiscal impact strategy through the budget process on this timeline. With the senior center RFP, we've released the RFP for the senior center lease. It is available to anyone who is interested in providing a bid. All bid documents for the project are available in our office and are due back by February 14th. And the forward program, just kind of want to update the board on this. So Nick Peel and I had met with representatives from Mass DOT and their consultant Bowman, who is assisting the town under this forward program. So this is essentially an opportunity to provide the town with technical assistance in identifying improved roadway signage on rural roads that meet the program's criteria, and to provide the town with free signs funded by the federal government as identified on the plan. These roadways included Brookfield Road, Mugget Hill, Oxford, Saundersdale, Partridge Hill, Richardson's Corner, Dresser Hill, and New Spencer Road. The consultant has completed their initial survey and have provided us with their initial recommendations. We met and provided some comment back to be compiled into a project manual document. Once we receive the project document, Mass DOT will order the signs for our installation and provide recommendation for other roadway improvements that could be done that may be outside that program. We're anticipating that we'll receive the final documents and signage sometime in early spring. And then finally, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to DPW. They had a really long weekend. Missed the last Pats game of the year, not like any of us actually wanted to watch it. But, got to be another tough one tonight, so hopefully they're able to fit some rest in. But I think they all did a very great job over the weekend, considering the duration of the storm and the circumstances.
Absolutely. On that topic, if they're looking at that and free signage, we've had several people living on it. Can we add Colburn Road?
So this is prescriptive to the federal program, what fit within the federal guidelines as identified by the state. I can definitely ask them if they can reevaluate a road to see, because I think that they base it a lot on use data. So I think at a minimum of, it was 1,000 cars, I want to say a week was.
They go by use, they don't go by accident data.
It was a combination of accident data and traffic volume. So it had to meet their minimum benchmarks to fall under the program. And the town of Charlton actually had more roads than any other town in the state that met the federal program. Most other towns only have like 2 or 3 roads.
Oh,
Yeah.
no kidding.
Yeah.
All right. If we can put that one in, or even ask DPW to take a look at it,
Yep.
because we've been asked a few times.
No problem. Again.
Bill and I, oh no, you didn't take out his fence. We thought you did. It wasn't you.
I offered to fix it for
No, we thought it was you. No, but it wasn't.
I could follow up with DPW and have them take a look at it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Any other business that was unknown at the time of posting?
Mr. Chairman, just a couple of requests for our next meeting, or maybe even the one after, it's not a huge rush. Andrew, I should know this. When is your contract up? Isn't it coming up soon?
No, it's 2 years from
Is
now.
it 2 years? Oh, wait, no, is it Chief Dowd's contract? That's
Chief
what I'm
Dowd's next.
Oh,
He's
Chief,
next.
yeah, right, Chief. All right, yeah, can we just put that on as an agenda item? And can we get an update on the school deregulation study, just to
Yes.
kind of see where we're at?
Yeah, right now, I'll just give you a quick update.
Oh, there.
Really, it's just been providing the consultant information, and he's been more or less asking for information from the schools,
Yeah.
which I think he's still following up on, but I
Yes.
will try to get
Yeah,
it
let's see if we
firm.
get a timeline on that, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, Bill, that's a good follow-up question. I was thinking about that this morning, but it's with, Richard Matthew leaving, I don't think I don't know if they have the manpower to be able to pull
Yeah.
that together now, or it's
Well, I
gonna
certainly
be.
hope so, because we paid for
Uh-huh.
it, so I was gonna
That's,
say.
that's the consultant's work, it's the schools,
Yeah.
you know, information that they have to get to the consultants for them to be able
Yeah.
to synthesize.
Yeah.
So we got that. You really have 2 more years? When did I sign off on that? I'm kidding.
I know, at least, it's at least 2.5.
All right, next meeting announcements. Tomorrow's meeting that is listed here is gonna be canceled due to
Yes.
illness and weather.
Yeah, we're gonna look to, add a, discussion on budgetary goals, at our next meeting. And then, figure to look at do some sort of municipal buildings walkthrough sometime in either the spring or early summer.
Oh,
You know, when,
so tomorrow at 3 PM, we're out.
yeah,
We're
it's,
not- we're
I
not
just think
riding
with the
around.
weather,
Everybody's
it's a
sick.
time of year, people being sick, it may just be better if we wait till the weather turns a little bit.
Yeah.
So then after that, our next Board of Selectmen regular meeting will be January 23rd, 2024. And Bill, do you want to bring us into
But
a?
first, I want to say, Pete, thank you once again for filling in his chair, and Clark, you killed it tonight. I'd like to make a motion to go into into executive session under MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Number 2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, specifically around the fire chief contract. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public board, and the chair so declares, and to return to open session if needed, and to adjourn. My assumption, or my thought is we might actually vote in open session, so there you go.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Steve, aye.
Pete, aye.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Drew. Yeah, thank you. Jim, nice seeing you.